On my wedding day, my fiancée abandoned me on the roadside, letting her ex-husband be the groom, and even claimed she was pregnant with his child. To protecting/shielding ex-husband, she not only cursed me but also physically assaulted me. Later, when she discovered the child was mine, she knelt and begged me to reconcile, but I refused. Ultimately, she was disowned by the Zhou family and lost her life/died in her ex-husband's revenge/retaliation. I went to the mall, bought new clothes, and directly threw my suit into the trash can. Opening my phone, I saw dozens of missed calls from my parents and friends. Chloe Zhou's few messages, every word, pierced me precisely. Ethan, I can't reach you. I temporarily had Liam stand in for you as the groom. I never had a wedding when I married him, so this time it's just to make it up to him. Remember to thank Liam. He really worked hard helping you toast guests until you threw up. Oh, right. I'm taking Liam home to live for now. Once I have the baby, he'll leave when he finds a place to rely on. You know, he's my ex-husband. I always feel an undeniable responsibility towards him. You wouldn't want me to be a heartless woman, would you? I stared intently at the screen, a bitter smile tugging at the corner of my lips. Yes, she truly was a woman of deep loyalty. But that loyalty was always reserved only for Liam Gu. When Liam Gu's girlfriend passed away, she flew overnight to the United States to offer condolences. I couldn't understand it, but she thought it was perfectly natural. Ethan, he is my ex-husband after all. Even without love, there's a familial bond. He really needs me right now. And the result? That 12,000-kilometer flight, it turned out, was merely to ensure she could get herself into his bed. My heart felt as if an invisible hand was squeezing it tightly. I looked up, blinking hard to fight back the tears. I decided to go home, pack my suitcase, and completely remove myself from this absurd farce. As soon as I pushed open the door, I saw Liam Gu wearing an apron, busy in front of the dining table. Seeing me, he greeted me cordially, as if he were the master of the house. You must be Ethan, right? From now on, let's call each other brothers. Come sit, the meal/the food is freshly made. Chloe Zhou naturally helped him untie his apron, her fingers lingering around his waist. I told you the cook would handle it. How can you cook yourself when you're so tired today? Liam Gu looked down and wiped the corner of his eye. But, you love my home-cooked meals the most. I've noticed you've lost so much weight these past 2 years since you returned. Chloe Zhou immediately my heart ached/felt a pang of sympathy and wiped his tears. Okay. With you taking care of me at home from now on, I'll gain it all back quickly. Then, she turned to me with a smile. Ethan, come try Liam's cooking. Honestly, I've been craving this for 2 years. Watching her overly solicitous manner, I suddenly understood. It wasn't the food she craved at all, but the person who cooked it. No wonder every time I cooked these past 2 years, she always said she wasn't hungry. It wasn't that the meal/the food wasn't to her taste. It was that even her stomach only craved Liam Gu's cooking. A bitter pang rose in my chest. I walked straight to the bedroom. I'm tired, I'll rest first. Liam Gu blinked helplessly, and tears immediately welled up. Chloe, does Ethan not like me? Chloe Zhou, as expected, couldn't bear to see him suffer even a bit of grievance, and her face instantly darkened. Stop right there. Liam has already worked so hard filling in for you as the groom today, and he even cooked specially. If you're not going to thank him, then who are you giving that gaze/look to? Thank him? I scoffed. The wedding car/limo left me halfway to pick him up. He stood in for me as the groom. And now you two are canoodling/being openly affectionate in front of me, and you even have a child. Chloe Zhou, why don't you just go be with him? Why bother feigned concern/being disingenuous about me? I already explained about the wedding. Chloe Zhou suddenly raised her voice. Are you bringing up old issues/rehashing the past deliberately to embarrass Liam? Liam Gu hurried over and took my hand. Ethan, Chloe and I have known each other for so long, we already see each other as family. I really didn't pay attention to those details. Even if we have a baby now, I don't have any romantic feelings for her. Otherwise, why would we have gotten divorced in the first place? Without waiting for my reply, he looked at Chloe Zhou with a forced casualness. I didn't realize Ethan was so bothered by our past. Maybe I should just move out? When we divorced, I said I wouldn't bother you. After the baby is born, I'll come pick him up, and if you occasionally think of us, father and son, you can come visit. Most importantly, make sure to pay child support on time. After speaking, he forced a smile and sat down, picking up Chloe Zhou's and my matching plates, gulping down dinner. But his tears wouldn't stop falling. He quickly wiped them away with the back of his hand, choking out. Don't worry, Ethan. I'll leave as soon as I finish eating. Staying in a hotel is fine too. Before he finished speaking, he suddenly started coughing violently, crying with heart-wrenching cries. Baby, I'm sorry, Daddy can't give you a complete home. Chloe Zhou immediately rushed over and pulled him into her arms, comforting him with soft whispers. When she looked up at me again, her eyes were full of blame and disgust. Ethan Jiang, what exactly do you want? Won't you be satisfied until you've driven Liam to his death? I chose to ignore her and turned to go upstairs. But Chloe Zhou suddenly chased after me, blocking my path. She frantically ran her fingers through her hair. Liam and I are just familial, there's no romantic love between us at all. Why do you have to keep harping on it? Family? I scoffed, do family members have children together? Chloe Zhou, are you treating me like a 3-year-old? Her brows furrowed, and she explained reluctantly. When Liam's ex-girlfriend died, he almost committed suicide with her. I'm giving him a child to give him the courage to live. Then she suddenly grabbed my wrist. Ethan, your family. The Jiang family estate has practiced medicine for generations and is renowned for their compassion and medical expertise. You wouldn't be so cold-hearted as to stand by and do nothing. Just consider it saving Liam's life. And let's not dwell on this, okay? Renowned for their compassion and medical expertise? I pulled my hand away from hers, smiling sarcastically. I am cold-hearted. I want to watch him die. If he dies, you won't care about him anymore. Slap. A slap landed hard on my face. Chloe Zhou's chest heaved violently, her eyes bloodshot. If he dies, I'll make you pay. My left cheek stung hotly, but it was nothing compared to the pain in my heart. 5 years of a relationship, and this was the first time she had laid a hand on me. Whenever it concerned Liam Gu, the usually calm and elegant Chloe Zhou would turn into this violent mess. I suddenly felt disheartened. Chloe Zhou, you've hit me. You've cursed me. Let's just break up. Anyway, we haven't registered our marriage, and it wasn't me who took the vows at the wedding. The whole thing has been a joke from start to finish. She visibly froze for a moment, then suddenly hugged me tightly. Ethan, please, don't be silly. I know you're worried about the marriage certificate/marriage license. We'll go get it in a few days, okay? Liam won't live here permanently. He'll move out once he finds his own place, 2 years at most, trust me. He's handsome, and he has a great personality. He has plenty of admirers, so he won't have trouble finding his next partner/next opportunity. But I need to carefully vet them for him. He's too naive/innocent, and he has a child. So he's easily deceived. I coldly interrupted her. No need to look. You care about him so much, and you're the mother of his child. You're the best choice. She stared at me for a long moment, then suddenly released me, a sarcastic smile pulling at the corner of her mouth. You think I can't live without you? It was you who shamelessly/persistently wanted to marry me back then. I lowered my head and said softly, yes, I serves me right/I deserved it. Her arranged marriage/family alliance and mine was grandfather arranged/decreed by Grandpa Henry because my father saved his life on the operating table 20 years ago. My father had agreed jokingly, but never took it seriously. He always said, my precious son should, of course, marry the person he loves. But I, disappointing/couldn't live up to expectations, fell for Chloe Zhou. 3 years ago, she went to the United States to pursue her degree and married the gentle yet stubborn proud, struggling student/gentleman of humble means Liam Gu in Las Vegas. Upon hearing the messages, I immediately proposed breaking off the engagement. But she knelt before me, her eyes red, pleading, Ethan, I only love you. I've already divorced him, please forgive me this one time, okay? At that time, I was soft-hearted and forgave her. It was all my serves me right/I deserved it. Chloe, it's normal for Ethan to be young and ignorant. You should be more accommodating. Unlike me. I've long been used to sacrificing myself. Liam Gu stood at the doorway, dragging his suitcase, forcing a smile and waving at us. I'm leaving now. Don't see me off. Get out. Chloe Zhou suddenly shrieked, violently pushing me out of her way as she chased after Liam Gu. My feet slipped, and I fell heavily down the stairs. Sharp pain instantly swept through my entire body. My vision blurred, and my limbs and head throbbed with agony. But Chloe Zhou stepped right over me, not even sparing a gaze/look. She frantically hugged Liam Gu from behind, her voice trembling. Liam, you have no family or friends in this country. Where can you go? Are you trying to worry me to death? Liam Gu stubbornly wiped away tears, forcing a smile. I can take care of myself. If worst comes to worst, there are so many women out there, someone will be willing to take me in. I won't allow it. Chloe Zhou angrily cut him off, grabbing his hand and pulling him back. As they passed by me, Liam Gu feigned concern. Should we call a doctor for Ethan? He looks badly hurt. Chloe Zhou coldly glanced at me, curled up on the ground, and said indifferently. No need. He's a doctor, he can save himself. Ultimately, Alfred couldn't stand it and dialed emergency call, 911, for me. When I woke up, it was the next day. The hospital room was empty. There was one message from Chloe Zhou on my phone. I'm sorry. I thought you were faking it. I'm taking Liam around Rockwell City today. I'll come see you tomorrow. I called Alfred and asked him to send my necessary documents back to the Jiang family estate. I would never step foot in that place again. The nurse came in with the CT scan, hesitating to speak. Dr. Jiang, a mild concussion requires hospital observation. I heard you just got married yesterday, how did this happen? I was hit by a crazy dog. I smiled nonchalantly. Wasn't that right? Chloe Zhou protecting/shielding Liam Gu looked like a vicious dog guarding its food. Suppressing the sting in my heart, I assured my parents I was safe. Scrolling through my social media feed/timeline, Liam Gu had just updated his photo collage/a series of photos. 8 sweet photos with Chloe Zhou from the wedding ceremony, with 10 boxes of limited edition cigars in the center. The caption, loving someone isn't just about saying it, it's about what they do. I liked it sincerely. That sentence was truly a sudden realization/a moment of clarity, reminding me how much Chloe Zhou loved him. He liked smoking cigars. For the past 2 years, Chloe Zhou unfailingly/without fail sent him a box every week, come rain or shine/regardless of the weather. They had video calls every day. Chloe Zhou thought it was perfectly normal, just ordinary friends chatting. Every New Year's Eve, she would fly to the United States to be with him because he would be lonely. Gourmet pastries/specialty desserts for Valentine's Day, custom holiday treats for Thanksgiving, limited edition fragrances/specialty gifts for a summer holiday, all holiday gifts were never missed. When I questioned her, she always had a lecturing tone/preachy tone. Ethan, there's still responsibility after a marriage ends. We'll be bound for life/tied together forever, this has nothing to do with love. But if there was no love, what woman would willingly bear such a responsibility? A few minutes later, Liam Gu sent an audio recording. When I played it, his tearful voice came through. Chloe, can we not divorce? You clearly still love me, why did you agree to the arranged marriage/family alliance? Chloe Zhou sighed softly. Grandpa gave me an ultimatum. He owed the Yin family a life debt/indebted to the Yin family for saving a life, and he insisted I marry Ethan Jiang to repay this favor. He hates not repaying debts the most. Even if it wasn't me, it would be another grandchild from the Zhou family. But in that case, I would be disowned by the Zhou family forever. Liam Gu timidly asked, then, do you like Ethan Jiang? After a long silence, Chloe Zhou's voice was frighteningly calm. No, I don't. My heart suddenly twisted in pain. Actually, I had suspected it before, that she had no feelings for me. But every time I asked her, she would look at me with that an unfamiliar look. Ethan, how I feel about you, can't you sense it? Do I have to say it out loud? Okay, listen closely. You are the love of my life. Now that I think about it, the love of my life, those words, in her mouth, were probably just a neutral term, devoid of any emotion. My phone suddenly vibrated. As soon as I answered, Sophia Moore's joyous yet nervous voice came through. Ethan, the wedding preparations are underway. We agreed to get married in a week, so don't back out. Before I could answer, she added fiercely. If you dare to back out, I'll live permanently at your hospital, hire you as my personal doctor, and make you stretch too thin/spread too thin, so you'll never think of marrying anyone else in this life. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Ms. Moore, you've been threatening me since you were little. When have you ever actually followed through? Ethan, you've been sarcastic/sharp-tongued since you were little. Just wait until we're married and see how I deal with you. Go ahead and try. I'll try if you try. Humph. Humph. We hung up simultaneously, but a second later, I burst out laughing. The Jiang and Moore families were long-standing family friends/family ties, and Sophia Moore was considered my childhood sweethearts. Every time we met, it was either bicker/playful arguments or full-blown arguments. When she was 18, she suddenly confessed her feelings, and I just dismissed it as a prank and rejected her directly. Who knew she was serious? From then on, she kept chasing me. Until the day of my engagement to Chloe Zhou, she said with red eyes. Ethan Jiang, you'll never get a good woman like me. Yet yesterday, this hypocritical/saying one thing and meaning another young lady still secretly went to crash the wedding/interrupt the ceremony.
Thinking of this, the corner of her mouth unconsciously lifted. Perhaps marrying this woman who knows me inside out, know very well, and can make me laugh heartily, would be a good choice. Bang. The hospital room door was kicked open violently. Chloe Zhou rushed in, eyes bloodshot, grabbing my wrist and dragging me out. Ethan Jiang. How dare you complain to, report to Grandpa Henry. He's forcing Liam to go abroad now. I didn't complain to, report to anyone. I was dizzy from her pulling, mechanically repeating myself. Still making excuses, she roared, her breathing ragged, almost trembling. What did Liam ever do to you? Just because he's my ex-husband. But that's a fact that can never be changed. I stared blankly at this unfamiliar woman, my voice hoarse. Chloe Zhou. Yesterday he was at the wedding ceremony, with so many guests watching. Grandpa Henry was just at his spiritual retreat, meditating in solitude. He wasn't isolated from the world. Chloe Zhou suddenly, as if waking from a dream, suddenly realized. Clutching my wrist tightly with both hands, Ethan, my mind was too muddled just now. I'm sorry. Her voice trembled, and hot tears fell on the back of my hand. Please beg Grandpa. Only you can persuade him to let Liam stay now. Seeing my silence, she even knelt down, dropped to one knee. We'll get our marriage certificate tomorrow. I'll agree to anything you want. I looked at her trembling shoulders, and suddenly laughed. Okay, I have only one condition. Tell me. She eagerly looked up. Cancel the engagement, and never see each other again from now on. Impossible. I can't lose you. She suddenly stood up, her voice hoarse, like a trapped beast. But I can't abandon Liam either. I cut her off. Don't worry. I'll tell Grandpa I broke up with you. You won't have any responsibility, okay? I forced myself to walk out, enduring the dizziness. Chloe Zhou rushed after me to help me. Ethan, it's not what you think. We'll get our marriage certificate tomorrow, then you'll feel better, right? She's speeding all the way to the airport VIP lounge. Seeing us, Grandpa Henry kindly waved. Ethan, the Zhou family has let you down this time. Then he cast a cold glance at Liam Gu, who was slumped on the ground. The Zhou family will never acknowledge this kind of man and his offspring. I took a deep breath. Grandpa Henry, I want to let them be together. The moment I finished speaking, Liam Gu suddenly grabbed the liquor bottle from the table and violently smashed it against his forehead. Blood instantly snaked down his pale cheek. He pushed away a frantic Chloe Zhou, then forced himself to his knees, a sarcastic smile twisting on his lips as he looked at me. Ethan Jiang, if I die, I won't bother you anymore. Chloe and I are innocent. I won't accept this baseless slander. Before he could finish, he collapsed heavily to the ground. Grandpa Henry was devoutly spiritual, a man of deep faith, and couldn't stand such a sight. He snorted coldly and walked away. Only Chloe Zhou's heart-wrenching cries, agonizing sobs remained in the VIP lounge. Ethan, save him. You're a doctor. You must have a way. I braced myself against the sofa, my heart turning to ice. After all these years, she still didn't even know I was an internal medicine doctor and couldn't handle this kind of external injury. After dialing emergency call 911, I turned to leave. Chloe Zhou suddenly grabbed a liquor bottle and threw it at me. Her gaze, look ominously sinister. Ethan Jiang, how can you be so cold-hearted? If anything happens to Liam, I'll never forgive you. The liquor bottle struck the back of my head hard. Sharp pain surged, and warm liquid trickled down the back of my neck. I felt dizzy and collapsed softly to the ground. Through a blur, I saw a familiar figure rush in and slap Chloe Jo to the ground. You trashy divorcee, ex-wife. It's a miracle you even got to marry Ethan. How dare you not cherish him? I'm going to teach you a lesson today. 2 days later, I woke up in the hospital. I saw Chloe Jo sitting by the bed, her face covered in bruises. Seeing me wake, her dull gaze, look suddenly brightened. Ethan, I misunderstood you. I thought you didn't want to save Liam. I didn't want to respond. In her heart, I was already a villain anyway. Seeing my silence, she eagerly leaned closer. Ethan, please, just say something, okay? I impatiently closed my eyes. Get out. Chloe Zhao's face instantly darkened, but she stubbornly remained seated. Just then, the hospital room door was pushed open, and Sophia Moore walked in, holding a large bouquet of flowers. Seeing Chloe Jo, her beautiful expressive eyes, captivating eyes dangerously narrowed. Well, divorcee, ex-wife, she sneered. I just went out to buy some flowers, and you snuck back in again. Chloe Jo abruptly stood up, her fists clenching, knuckles cracking. Miss, please watch your language. I don't like the term divorcee, ex-wife. And it's none of your business who I see as my husband. Sophia Moore placed the flowers on the nightstand, and laughed contemptuously. Chloe Jo, you are a divorcee. And husband. I saw it perfectly clear, the groom at that wedding wasn't my fiancé, Ethan Jong. Fiancé. Chloe Jo raised her voice, and turned to me. Ethan Jong, who is this bitch? Explain yourself. Explain. I scoffed internally, a cold smile formed on my lips. I had suggested breaking off the engagement so many times, but she never took it seriously. For Liam Gu, she had verbally abused me, and even physically harmed me. I was completely disillusioned with this woman. Did she even deserve an explanation from me? I ignored her directly, weakly looking at Sophia Moore. Sophia, I have a headache. Sophia Moore immediately sat by the bed and naturally took my hand. The doctor said you had 2 concussions in a few days, and need to rest. Her thumb gently rubbed my inner wrist, a small comforting gesture. Chloe Zhao's gaze, look was sharp. Let go of him. Why should I? Sophia Moore didn't even look up. Because you left him by the wedding car, limo. Or because you almost killed him for your ex-husband. Chloe Zhao's expression faltered. Those were all misunderstandings. Just then, the doctor pushed open the door. Ms. Jo, your husband is awake. There are some important things to discuss. Ethan Jong, I'll settle this with you when I get back. Chloe Jo threw that sentence out and hurried away. As soon as the hospital room door closed, Sophia Moore suddenly hugged me tightly, her voice choked with sobs. Ethan Jong, Chloe Jo is such trash. If you had told me earlier, how could I have stood by and watched her ruin you for 5 years? The man I've cherished for so many years, how dare that divorcee, ex-wife treat him like dirt? I patted her back helplessly. I was the one who was hurt, yet now I had to comfort her. Sophia Moore, I'm not even crying, why are you? Can't my heart ached, felt a pang of sympathy? She buried her face in my shoulder, rubbing away tears. I've told you since childhood to be a bit tougher with women, but you've saved it all for me. I pulled out a tissue and handed it to her. Can you wipe your tears on the tissue? Her eyes darted, and she leaned in with a mischievous smile. You wipe them for me. I reached out and pinched her cheek. She wasn't to be outdone and tugged at my hair. Sure enough, every time we met, it ended in an argument. Just as I was wondering if we'd argue every day after marriage, she suddenly cupped the back of my head, tilted her head, and kissed me. My face instantly flushed. Her tips of her ears were red, but she still tried to act calm. No more arguing from now on. As long as you kiss me, I'll give in to you. Chloe Jo froze in place, her ears ringing. Ms. Jo, your husband's external injuries are fine. But he has oligospermia, low sperm count, so it's basically impossible for him to have children. Oligospermia, low sperm count. This child is Ethan Jang's. Unable to hear what else the doctor said, Chloe Jo turned and rushed into the hospital room. Liam Gu. She roared furiously. Why did you lie to me? The man on the bed looked up in alarm, his pale face still streaked with undried tears. Chloe, I don't know what you're talking about. Chloe Jo suddenly felt nauseous. 3 months ago, he used this same pitiful expression to trick her into bed. Chloe Jo took a deep breath, her chest heaving violently. Why did you say my child was yours, and forge the paternity test report? You couldn't possibly get me pregnant. Liam Gus's eyelashes trembled, and tears immediately fell in streams. Chloe, I didn't want to. I just wanted to win you back. Chloe Jo scoffed. Win me back, so you can just lie. Liam Gu, is there any truth in anything you say? She pointed a trembling hand at her belly, stomach for pregnancy, her voice hoarse. Do you know? Even without this child, I would have taken care of you for life. I said you were my ex-husband, my responsibility. But why did you lie to me? Make my child not know their biological father, make me lose Ethan Jong. Liam Gu looked at him blankly. Lose Ethan Jong. You didn't like him, what does it matter? Who says I don't like him? Chloe Zhou suddenly clenched her fist, practically screaming. Chloe Zhou screamed, then she herself was stunned. A panic seized her heart, and she softened her tone. People's feelings change. Perhaps they never changed at all. At first, saying Ethan Jong was the love of her life, was just to appease him. After all, a casual remark could make him happy all day. Later, she gradually became more sincere, saying it with utmost earnestness every time. Ethan Jong was so good, of course, he deserved her love. Liam Gus' eyes were full of sadness. Chloe, 3 years ago, we knew each other for less than a month, and you begged me to marry you, saying you had decided I was the one. Was that just my imagination? You always say you have a responsibility to me. Putting responsibility aside, I just want to ask one thing. Did you ever love me? This question made Chloe Zhou pause. She began to recall. 3 years ago, Liam Gu was a proud, struggling student, gentleman of humble means, who earned a full scholarship through his own efforts. He was optimistic, cheerful, had his own pursuits, and was never bound by anyone or any rules. Unlike Ethan Jong, who, even when forced into an arranged marriage, family alliance by his parents to marry someone he didn't like, didn't have a single word of complaint. He had no temper, no sharp edges, so obedient it was frustrating. She didn't want to be submissive like him, to be a tool for Grandpa Henry's repayment. So, her first act of rebellion in her life was to marry Liam Gu in the United States, after knowing him for less than a month. Chloe. Liam Gu suddenly raised his voice, choking. Is it that hard to even answer that question? His fingertips dug deeply into his palm. He already had his answer. Such a simple question as, love or not love, and she was silent for a full 5 minutes. I loved you briefly. Chloe Zhou finally spoke, her voice frighteningly calm. 3 days after getting married, she regretted it. That night, she intentionally let slip at a family gathering, ensuring the messages reached Grandpa Henry's ears. All these years, her constant emphasis on her responsibility to Liam Gu was merely to cover up her inner guilt. Because of guilt, she wanted to give him a child. She sided with him again and again, but she tore Ethan Jang's heart to shreds. Liam Gu suddenly knelt on the ground. Chloe, please don't say angry things to me. Chloe Zhou turned around and said calmly, Liam, go back to the United States. Let's not contact each other anymore. Heart-wrenching cries came from behind her, but her footsteps did not hesitate. One must always pay the price for their youthful recklessness. Fortunately, it wasn't too late to win Ethan Jong back. Sophia Moore quickly helped me transfer hospitals, citing the reason as preventing irrelevant people from disturbing me. Who that person was self-evident. But unexpectedly, on the night of the transfer, Chloe Zhou showed up. When the door was pushed open, Sophia Moore was holding a medicine cup, spoon-feeding me my medicine. Chloe Zhou froze at the doorway, her gaze fixed intently on us, her throat constricting, unable to utter a single word. Sophia Moore and I exchanged a glance, tacitly choosing to ignore her. Chloe Zhou gritted her teeth, carrying fruit and flowers as she walked in. Ethan. She stood by the bed, her fingers unconsciously tightening. Can we talk alone for a moment? No. Sophia Moore cut her off coldly. You're not welcome here. Chloe Zhou ignored her hostility, and suddenly, with a thud, knelt directly in front of my hospital bed. She kept her head down, not even daring to look at me, her voice extremely hoarse. Ethan, I've been completely wrong these past few years. Whether you believe it or not, I want you to know the truth. I lowered my eyes, my tone calm. I'm not interested. Her breath hitched, but she continued speaking, quickly, as if afraid of being interrupted again. The child in my belly, stomach for pregnancy, isn't Liam's, it's yours. 3 years ago, I married him to rebel against the Zhou family. Later, all my efforts to protect him were out of guilt, and when I said I loved you, it was sincere. She was already sobbing as she spoke. Ethan, I've completely broken things off with Liam Gu. Please forgive me, okay? I closed my eyes and pressed my throbbing temples. My head ached terribly. Sophia Moore immediately understood, gently massaging my pressure points, her gaze, looked sharply sweeping towards Chloe Zhou. What kind of behavior is this? Crying in front of a patient. My fiancé needs rest. If you want to put on a melodrama, go do it outside. Chloe Zhou seemed not to hear, her dark eyes fixed only on me. Ethan, as long as you're willing to come back with me, you don't like me but I can change. Enough. I've told you countless times, we're canceling the engagement. Why do you keep bothering me? We're over. The biological father of the child in your belly, stomach for pregnancy, is unclear. Do you really think I'll believe it's mine? I violently grabbed the water cup and threw it. The glass shattered, drawing blood on her forehead. Yet, she seemed impervious to pain, instead flashing a morbid smile. Ethan, if hitting me makes you feel better, then go ahead. I don't mind. A violent headache suddenly struck. I lost control and grabbed the medicine bottle, fruit, flower vase, everything within reach, and hurled them at her. Chloe Jo stood still, not dodging, letting the blood stain the collar of her white dress. Sophia Moore pulled me into her arms, her warm lips lightly kissing my trembling eyelids. Ethan, shh, don't look, then you won't be annoyed. Sleep, little sister will watch over you. I gradually calmed down and, under the effect of the medication, drifted into a hazy sleep. Sophia Moore's face was grim. She grabbed Chloe Zhao's bag and roughly dragged her out of the hospital room. The moment the door closed, she picked up the metal trash can from the hallway and swung it at Chloe Zhao's head. Chloe Zhao's vision went black from the impact, food scraps and liquid dripping from her hair. She tremblingly wiped her face, then lunged forward to retaliate. Sophia Moore had already delivered a side kick squarely to her knee. Chloe Jo stumbled, hit the wall, then fell heavily to the ground, coughing up a mouthful of bloody foam. Chloe Jo wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and roared, "Psycho. You just hit people without thinking. Don't you have a mouth to speak with?" Sophia Moore looked down at her contemptuously and suddenly smiled. "You trashy divorcee, disgusting ex-wife, you thug, who just hits people, and you want to talk sense with me. When Ethan gets stress-induced headaches, triggered migraines just from hearing your voice. Why don't you think about whether you're even worthy of speaking?" Chloe Jo suddenly froze, her pupils contracting. "Who exactly are you?" Sophia Moore leaned down and grabbed her hair. "I'm the childhood sweethearts, who grew up with him. The woman who's coveted him for over a decade, your nemesis, Chloe Jo." Chloe Jo suddenly flared up. "You two were hooking up this whole time." Sophia Moore delivered another slap, sending her sprawling to the ground again. "You dirty mouth. You were so brave calling me a bitch yesterday. If I hadn't seen how much Ethan liked you, do you think I would have let go 5 years ago?" Then, she lowered her voice and curled her lips. "I should actually thank you for being so disappointing. Couldn't live up to expectations. Now you've pushed him right back into my arms." After Sophia Moore finished speaking, she turned and walked away. Chloe Jo tried to get up and follow, but 2 black-clad bodyguards immediately restrained her. "Ms. Jo, Grandpa Henry wants to see you." Chloe Jo knelt before the sacred statue, spiritual figurine, stiff all over. She had always feared her grandfather the most, yet she had done everything to enrage the old man. The sound of the meditation gong abruptly ceased. Grandpa Henry pressed his prayer beads, his voice icy, chilling. "The Zhang family estate has called off the engagement. In this life, I owe an unpayable debt. 2 paths." Grandpa Henry lifted his eyelids, a cold light flashing in his eyes. "Either get disowned by the Zhou family, expelled from the family, or remarry Liam Gu and stay far away from the Ethan Zhang boy from now on." Chloe Jo, without thinking, bowed deeply, knelt and bowed profoundly. "Grandpa, I choose neither." Grandpa Henry's fingers suddenly tightened, but his face remained calm. "I'll choose for you. Immediate expulsion from the Zhou family." Chloe Jo suddenly looked up, staring at her grandfather's unmoving face, then bowed her head deeply again. "Okay." The moment her forehead touched the ground, Chloe Jo felt an unprecedented sense of relief. She could leave the Zhou family, but she couldn't live without Ethan Zhang. As she stood up, Liam Gu, who had been hiding behind the prayer flags, called out to her. "Chloe Jo, you'd rather be disowned by the Zhou family, expelled from the family than be with me. I loved you so much, used every means to drive Ethan Zhang away for you. Why do you only have eyes for him? If I died, would you even blink?" Chloe Jo didn't even look at him, walking straight out of the Buddhist hall. Liam Gu laughed tragically, then suddenly stood up, and lunged towards the sacred statue, spiritual figurine. Grandpa Henry motioned for the bodyguards to stop him. "Don't defile this sacred place, a place of peace. Please escort Mr. Gu out." These past few days in the hospital, Chloe Jo came exceptionally often. Sometimes she brought new season clothes, saying they were for me to change into. Sometimes she carried an insulated container, thermos, saying it was comfort soup, light broth specially made by her family chef. Each time, Sophia Moore coldly blocked her at the hospital room door. In the years we were together, she never cared about these small things. She didn't even remember my birthday, yet she remembered what day Liam Gu was supposed to shave. I suddenly burst out laughing. Sophia Moore, who was organizing my discharge papers, looked up, a little confused. I laughed, clutching my belly, stomach for pregnancy, and rolling on the bed. Chloe Jo said I was the love of her life. You are the love of my life, it's so funny. Sophia Moore suddenly dropped the folder, pushed me onto the bed, and narrowed her eyes. Ethan Jung, you can think about women, but not that stupid divorcee. I stopped laughing and asked her seriously, can I really think about other women? She pinched my earlobe, grinding her teeth. Dream on. I rolled my eyes and pinched her cheek. Ms. Moore, is it okay if I only think about you? She suddenly bounced up, the tips of her ears red. Ethan Jung, you've learned bad habits. You actually know how to charm women now. I picked up the pillow and threw it at her. She caught it steadily, smiling like a cat that had stolen cream. You can only charm me. I fall for that. On the wedding day, I saw Chloe Jo in the last row of the guest seating. She sat quietly in the corner, looking noticeably thinner and terribly gaunt. As I walked towards Sophia Moore, she suddenly rushed onto the stage and blocked my path. Ethan, come with me. She reached out to grab me. I immediately dodged. Chloe Jo, last time you left me by the wedding car, limo, and this time you're disrupting the ceremony again. What exactly have I done to you? She shook her head frantically, her voice trembling. No, that's not it. I refused to remarry Liam Gu, and was disowned by the Zhou family, expelled from the family. Now I only have you, and the child needs you as a father. But I don't want you, or the child in your belly, stomach for pregnancy. I scoffed. I've had enough of you. I'm sick of you. Please leave my life. Those words seemed to sting her. She staggered backward, her throat constricting, unable to speak. Sophia Moore slowly walked over, her fingers already cracking. I gently pulled her, not wanting the wedding to be ruined. My father walked over, his face grim, and spoke. Chloe Jo, do you want me to talk to your grandfather again? Chloe Zhao's face instantly turned pale. She knew that if Grandpa Henry was alarmed again this time, the consequences would be much more severe than being disowned by the Zhou family, expelled from the family. She cast a tragic glance at me, her voice barely audible. Ethan, can we really never go back? I didn't answer, just gripped Sophia's hand tightly, walking towards the wedding stage, altar without looking back. Pei Yi remained silent for a long time amidst the guests' scornful glances, finally walking out in a daze. No one noticed Liam Gu's furtive figure hidden outside the hall. He arrived at the parking lot a step ahead. When Chloe Jo appeared in a daze, he unhesitatingly drove into her. He used the same wedding car, limo that Chloe Jo had frantically used to pick him up at the airport that day. Before he died, he got out of the car and desperately lunged into Chloe Zhao's arms, saying, Chloe, you know what I, Liam Gu, want, I'll never let go of, even in death. When the messages came, Sophia Moore and I were bickering. We couldn't agree on a honeymoon destination. So it turned into me pinching her ear, and her pulling my belt, until I suddenly leaned in and lightly pecked her lips. Sophia Moore immediately took the lead and deepened the kiss. Ethan Jung, I've really been had me completely wrapped around your finger my entire life. I pinched her waist. Is that a bad thing? She immediately nodded. It's fantastic.